This is the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Sideways. He was a Decepticon that appeared in the movie Revenge of the Fallen. He had a very brief action sequence in that movie before ending up being sliced up by Sideswipe. But I thought the character was pretty cool. He was one of my favorite Decepticons in the movie. And now we have a more accurate figure to represent this Decepticon from Revenge of the Fallen. And he actually looks pretty good. It's not a perfect figure, definitely. But as far as Studio Series figures go, this one's pretty good. I mean, we've grown to accept that the figure is going to be a little bit smaller than your usual Transformers figure. As far as deluxe class figures go, the quality of the plastic is somewhere in between the Cyberverse quality and the Generations quality. So it's not a super great quality, but it's not super bad. So judging this figure solely on design and engineering, I thought it was a pretty well-made figure. Let's take a look at the details of this new Studio Series Sideways. So the figure looks amazing. It looks great in robot mode. And this is probably the most accurate Sideways we've ever gotten from Hasbro and Takara Tomy. It really reflects how he looked like in the Revenge of the Fallen movie. I love the details of the sculpt of the figure, from the limbs, the legs, the arms, the chest, the torso. And for me, I think the arms are the best part of this robot mode. It's this Hulk-like, very troll and ogreish type of huge arms that I think really sell this robot mode. As far as articulation go, the figure is actually pretty poseable. What's hindering articulation for me is this chicken leg design that Michael Bay had put with the Transformers for his movies. And if you want to keep it accurate, you need to bend the knees backwards like that in a chicken leg stance. But if you want to pose him a little bit more, you'll have to reverse the knee, and then you can get him in more dynamic poses, but then you sacrifice accuracy, okay? He does come with a blaster. It is a beautifully sculpted three-barreled gun. Pretty cool. It's unpainted. It's a shame. As far as articulation goes, there is a ball-jointed neck that they allow the head to move up and down, left and right a little bit, but a little bit hindered because of all this sculpting on his neck. The arms, they can go up and down on a ratchet hinge, but that's mainly due to transformation. The shoulder joint is really just a ball joint, as well as the elbows. Elbows are on a ball joint. The fingers, they have hinges. These 3 fingers right here, they can open and close, hinge in and out. Thumb is opposable. You can move it in and out. He does have a waist swivel. See right here, but again, hindered by his rear end for the car and robot mode, but it does have that waist swivel. The legs are on ball joints. The knees are on hinges, so you can do the chicken leg stands, and the feet are on ball joints as well. There is a ton of ball joints on this figure. He kind of feels like he's a Cyberverse figure or a Rise of the Beasts figure, but it works for articulation. I'm not complaining too much. As far as the details go, you see a crumpled, front part of the car, a grill. The grill of the sports car is crumpled right here to form his abdomen, I guess, or chest. You get some details right here of the car for the sides of his torso. Some kibble, of course. This rear end of the car is going to form his rear end for the robot mode. It's a little bit huge, but it's not too annoying. I'm not bothered by it too much because the pieces, they crumple up and they compress nicely on his back. Some more details here on his legs. He's got this really nice metallic silver finish on some of the pieces, on the arms, forearms, and the legs and the hips, and on the chest. And even on that head sculpt, if you take a closer look at that head sculpt, it is a beautifully sculpted sideways head sculpt. I mean, most of the Revenge of the Fallen characters, they really did look something like that. It's painted in silver, not too much paint, but I do like that metallic silver on it. And he's got his signature wings, the windows of the car. And that's about it. It's a very, very cool looking robot mode. Very gruesome, very menacing sideways. Some size comparisons in robot mode. Here he is with a few other Studio Series figures. We have the Bumblebee movie Ratchet and the Bumblebee movie B127 figure. So he's right about there, head to toe. He is about 2 millimeters shorter than B127. But his girth and his huge arms, Hulk-like arms, do make up for that shortness in height. So transformation, put the weapon off to the side. You want to open up the hands like this, and then just line them up with the shoulders. Okay, what you want to do is you want to stretch out this rear end right here. Go ahead and untab the torso and put it all the way up. And complete the top part of the car by folding out these pieces right here. The shoulders, or the side parts of the torso, they are going to fold down like this. And then the arms, you're going to rotate them this way, fold them inside, and ratchet them out and line up those wheels with the fender. Okay, you can leave this part right here open. We can close that off later. Okay, and then the hands themselves are going to stretch out like this, form the rear wheel assembly, and just keep the hands opened up like that. Okay, do the same on the other side. Go ahead and open this up, line it up, and then fold and compress those shoulders like that. Then the crumpled grill of the car, you're gonna fold it out this way, form that front part of the sports car. Okay, now, this is a tricky bit. The legs, you're going to stretch it out all the way like this. And then there are pegs right here on the side of the neck. I'm going to just get these arms out of the way for the time being. Those pegs right there, they are going to tab onto these peg holes right here on the underside of the calf. So you want to stretch, go ahead and stretch that leg all the way up like this. And then you're going to collapse it right there on that peg, and it should line up this way, just over the head sculpt. Do the same on the other side. Rotate that all the way up like that, and then tab it in. Okay, and then the feet are going to tab into place like that over the head. Okay, and then the whole feet leg assembly is going to rest just underneath the front part of the car, and then just tidy it up with the arms holding onto his hips like this, and collapse this assembly right here. And then the rear end is going to fold over those fingers. You can see where this thing is going. You want to fold this piece right here. And it's going to tab onto the windows and close up that front part of the car. Okay. Windows are going to tab onto the roof. Same on the other side. Fold it up like this. And then the arms, they're just going to tab onto the rear fenders. This. Okay. Sideways should look something like this in alt mode. This is supposedly his Audi R8 sports car alt mode, but I don't know if Hasbro still kept the license to this car, because if you look closely at the details of the rear end and the front part of the car, it kind of looks like an Audi R8, but it's not really. I mean, it's too big on the rear end. The Audi would be something, it would slope a little bit more downward for the rear end. So it kind of looks like more of a Chefatron, or I don't know, it looks like a Toyota hybrid. I'm not exactly sure how accurate this alt mode is, but it kind of looks like the Audi R8. It does roll okay, assuming you folded everything and tabbed everything in place. It will roll perfectly, but it's not a perfect representation, in my opinion, of Sideways' alt mode in the movie. Then it gets sliced right here by Sideswipe. But having said that, it is still a good looking alt mode. It's got great silver paint all over it. It's got this really nice gray color of plastic that they've used for the top part of the car. The rear end is painted beautifully, so is the front end. I mean, the wheels could use some paint, but it's a pretty cool looking alt mode, and I'm very happy with it. It's just not that accurate. Okay, and then the gun, there's some very thin tabs right there. You can stick it onto the exhaust ports or the rear end of the car. You can carry it this way, but obviously you'd want to display him this way instead, just without the weapons. Very cool. And for comparisons, here he is with off-road Bumblebee, the Sector 7 repaint, done in silver, but you get the idea. And this is the Rise of the Beasts Bumblebee. Some final thoughts on this new Studio Series Deluxe Class Sideways from Revenge of the Fallen. It's actually a pretty good figure. I actually had a lot more fun with this figure than Age of Extinction Mirage or Dino. The plastic may seem a little bit flimsy at times, but the figure overall is pretty solid. The car mode isn't as accurate as I wanted it to be as far as what an R8 actually looks like, but I think it does its job. It's just like how Mirage or Dino isn't exactly a Dino Ferrari, but the alt mode kind of does its job to represent this character in its alt mode. The articulation was actually pretty good. I love the details. This figure deserves a 9 out of 10. I really had fun with it. Let me know in the comment section what you think of Studio Series Sideways. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.